Welcome to Chat Like a Native, your shortcut to sounding authentically fluent. Have you ever caught yourself saying very good, very busy, or very tired almost without thinking?
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly common.
It really is. It feels like such a natural habit, but what if this tiny, seemingly innocent word is secretly making your English less impactful, maybe less precise, and honestly, maybe just a little less native-like?
Mhm.
Today, we're diving deep into the surprising power of language and how swapping out very can unlock a whole new level of expression for you.
That's exactly right. This deep dive is all about revealing, well, a fundamental secret to truly powerful English. We'll uncover why very often falls short, arm you with a simple, kind of game-changing rule for choosing stronger words,
Hmm.
and crucially, show you exactly when very is actually your best friend. It's not about banning it completely.
Right, not banning, but understanding.
Precisely. Our mission is to give you the practical tools and insights to elevate your everyday conversations, make your professional communications shine, and help you feel completely confident in mastering the nuances of English expression.
Okay, so let's be honest, very is everywhere. It's like the linguistic equivalent of that comfortable old sweater you wear all the time.
Aha, that's a good analogy.
The meeting was very productive. I'm very excited for the weekend. That's a very interesting idea. It just feels so natural to reach for it. But beneath that comfort, this, widespread reliance on very can subtly dilute the strength and clarity of what you're trying to say.
You've really hit on a core truth there. And that dilution, that weakening of impact, it stems from a few key reasons. First, and maybe the most obvious one, very often leads to vagueness.
Vagueness, okay.
Yeah, when you say very cold, what image truly comes to mind? It's a bit indistinct, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of general.
But if you say freezing, suddenly you can almost feel that icy bite in the air. That single word paints a far more vivid and immediate picture.
That's a sharp distinction. It really is like very cold is a blurry photo and freezing is like, boom, high definition.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better. And beyond clarity, there's also the rhythm and flow of your speech.
Ah, okay.
Using two words like very cold instead of one powerful word like freezing. Well, it might seem minor on its own, but those extra syllables add up. They can subtly slow down your fluency, especially in rapid conversation. It's like adding tiny speed bumps to your sentences.
I can definitely see how those small hesitations or extra syllables accumulate. It's not just about speed then, it's about sounding more naturally articulate, more fluid.
Couldn't agree more.
Mm.
And here's where we often stumble, even advanced learners sometimes, grammatical accuracy.
Ooh, grammar, okay.
Yeah, some adjectives are what we call all or nothing or non-gradable. They're already at their maximum intensity. Think about the word unique. It means one of a kind, singular. So you can't really be very unique. Either something is unique or it isn't.
Right, one of a kind is absolute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or married. You either are or you aren't. Adding very to these words isn't just redundant. It's technically grammatically incorrect. It's a really common mistake. But knowing this unlocks a huge level of precision.
I hear very unique all the time, like even from native speakers. So while it makes sense grammatically, do you think there's maybe a subtle shift happening in casual language where these rules are bending a bit? Or is it always best to avoid it for, say, polished speech?
That's an excellent question, and it really highlights the dynamic nature of language.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. In very casual, informal conversation, you might hear very unique or very perfect. Language does evolve, and sometimes these rules soften at the edges.
Okay.
However, if your goal is precision, clarity, and sounding highly polished and articulate, especially in professional or formal settings, understanding and adhering to the non-gradable nature of these words is key. It shows a mastery of nuance that truly sets you apart. It's kind of a subtle battle between formal correctness and evolving usage, and knowing that tension exists actually gives you more control.
That's a great nugget of insight right there. It's not just about knowing the rule, but understanding its application, its flexibility across different contexts.
Precisely. And finally, there's the issue of repetition. If you're constantly relying on very, very important, very difficult, very good, your language can simply become repetitive.
Yeah, it gets boring.
It does. And in a crucial meeting or an important email, this repetition can make your message lose its punch. It can subtly undermine your persuasiveness and make you sound, well, less confident in what you're trying to convey.
So it sounds like very is secretly causing us more trouble than we realize, making us vague, maybe slowing us down, tripping us up grammatically, and even making us sound less convincing. Wow. That's quite a rap sheet for such a tiny word.
It is, isn't it?
But the good news, I hope, is that the fix isn't some complex grammatical overhaul, right? It's simpler than that.
Absolutely not complex. The fix is wonderfully simple, and it comes down to understanding one fundamental rule that truly unlocks a more natural, powerful English. Think of adjectives as belonging to one of two main families.
Two families, I like that. Makes it less like a dry grammar lesson and more like uncovering a secret family tree or something.
Couldn't agree more. So our first family consists of gradable adjectives.
Rateable.
These are words that describe qualities you can have a little or a lot of. For example, cold, tired, happy, clean. You could be a little cold, quite cold, or very cold.
Makes sense.
For these, very is a perfectly acceptable intensifier. Other common intensifiers that fit nicely here include really, extremely, so, and pretty, though pretty leans more casual.
Right. Pretty good is common.
Exactly. Even quite can work, though it's a bit of a chameleon word. It can mean fairly in some contexts or completely in others, especially depending on dialect, like British versus American English.
Okay, so for cold, I can happily use very cold, really cold, extremely cold. That makes sense. What's the other family then? The one that makes very unique an issue.
That would be our second family. Non-gradable adjectives, often called extreme adjectives.
Yes, stream. Got it.
These words already contain the idea of very within them. They're essentially all or nothing. Think of freezing. It doesn't just mean cold. It means extremely cold.
Right.
Exhausted isn't just tired, it's extremely tired. Thrilled is already very happy, and spotless means extremely clean. Other perfect examples are unique, impossible, perfect, married, like we said. These words are already at their maximum intensity.
Ah, so the word freezing itself is already doing the heavy lifting that very cold used to do. That really makes so much sense. It's like upgrading from standard definition to HD with just one word.
Exactly right. It's much more efficient and impactful. And for these non-gradable extreme adjectives, the appropriate intensifiers are words that mean completely or absolutely. Think absolutely, completely, totally, or utter.
Boy, absolutely freezing.
Perfect, completely exhausted, totally unique, utterly impossible. Really is also incredibly flexible and can work with many extreme adjectives too, like really amazing or really spotless. It's a good all-rounder.
Good to know about really.
But here's the crucial takeaway, the one to really engrave in your mind. You must avoid very with these non-gradable adjectives. So no very impossible, no very spotless. Once you grasp this distinction, you've essentially unlocked a cheat code for instantly sounding more natural and precise.
This is fantastic, and honestly, understanding this distinction between gradable and non-gradable adjectives feels like a real game changer. It's like discovering a hidden layer to English that just makes everything click into place. Now, let's put this into practice and really make it stick. Are you ready for a little 60-second swap-out challenge, listener? I'll throw out a very phrase, and you think of a stronger single-word alternative.
I'm ready. This is where you can really feel the immediate impact of these power words. Let's do it.
All right, let's kick things off with a common one. Very cold.
Okay. Freezing or perhaps icy. You can almost feel the chill, right?
Perfect. I remember trying to explain a winter in Canada once, and very cold. Just didn't cut it. Freezing definitely gets the point across better. How about very hot?
Scorching or boiling. Those words evoke immediate, intense heat.
Excellent. And for those times you're feeling very hungry.
Starring. It's much more descriptive and, frankly, more urgent sounding.
Definitely very tired.
Exhausted. Or if you're really beyond that, maybe even wiped out or shattered in more informal chat.
Good options. Very happy.
Delighted or thrilled.
Yeah.
So much more vibrant than just very happy.
Very angry.
Furious or maybe livid. That really conveys the raw emotion.
Yeah, much stronger. Let's do a few more quick ones for objects and situations. Very small.
Tiny or minute makes you picture something really delicate or precise.
Very big.
Enormous or huge. Maybe massive. Imagine the sheer scale.
Very clean.
Spotless or immaculate. Like a freshly prepared operating room, as you said before.
And it's messy opposite.
Very dirty.
Filthy. Or maybe grimy. No ambiguity there about how unclean it is.
Very noisy.
Deafening. You can almost hear the roar. Really loud.
And very quiet. Silent or perhaps hushed. These replacements don't just intensify. They create a clearer, sharper image, don't they? They absolutely do. You can feel the impact immediately. But it's not just about picking the right word in isolation. Sometimes context and the tone you want to convey matter just as much.
Right, context is everything.
Definitely. Let's try some context quick pick examples. Imagine you're drafting an email to a client about an unexpected delay. Would you opt for, say, "We're extremely sorry" or "We're totally sorry"?
Oh, for a client, I'd absolutely lean towards extremely sorry, totally sorry. Sounds way too casual, almost like you're talking to a friend, not a business associate you might be inconveniencing.
Spot on. That formality is crucial in that context. Now, what if you're talking to a friend about a movie you absolutely adored? Would you say it was absolutely amazing or highly amazing?
Hmm, definitely absolutely amazing. That just sounds right, it flows. Highly amazing feels that it's stiff, like I'm giving a corporate review for a film, not gushing to a friend.
Exactly. That's a great example of a collocation cluster. These natural pairings that simply sound correct to native speakers. Absolutely amazing is a very common one.
Collocation cluster, I like that term.
And what about in a team stand-up? When you're describing your workload, is "I'm swamped" or "I'm very busy" more effective?
Oh, I'm swamped for sure. It instantly tells everyone you're not just busy, but like overwhelmed. It's concise and vivid. Very busy. Just doesn't have the same punch or that sense of urgency.
You've nailed it. It conveys so much more with fewer words.
Yeah.
And one more. In a critical safety briefing, what's the difference in impact between saying "this shortcut is completely safe" and "this shortcut is very safe"?
Oh, wow. That's a critical distinction, isn't it? Completely safe implies zero risk, an absolute guarantee, which is paramount in safety discussions.
Mm,
Very safe suggests a high degree of safety, but because safe itself can be seen as gradable, it maybe leaves a tiny sliver of doubt. For something like safety, you want that absolute reassurance. It feels non-negotiable.
I couldn't agree more. Precision is absolutely paramount in those high-stakes situations. And speaking of natural pairings, mastering these collocation clusters is a huge step towards sounding more like a native speaker. Think of phrases like "absolutely delighted," "utterly impossible," "completely wrong," "totally satisfied," or even something like "bitterly disappointed."
Those sound incredibly natural. It's like they were just born together.
They pretty much are. And for more formal or professional contexts, you often hear pairings like "highly likely," "highly recommended," "deeply concerned," or "strongly advise." These combinations convey specific nuances and professionalism.
You mentioned really earlier as being quite flexible. How does that compare again to quite? You said quite was tricky.
Yeah, really is a wonderful chameleon. It works beautifully with both gradable adjectives like "really helpful" and many extreme adjectives like "really amazing." It's a
Right.
fantastic go-to intensifier if you're ever unsure.
Okay. Good safety net.
Exactly. Quite, on the other hand, is a bit trickier because its meaning can shift significantly. In British English, "quite tired" might often mean fairly tired, just sort of moderately tired.
Right.
But "quite brilliant" or "quite extraordinary" can mean completely or absolutely brilliant, depending on the context, and even the speaker's intonation. So it's one to be mindful of and perhaps pay close attention to how native speakers around you use it. Listen for the context.
This has been so insightful about choosing the right words, the collocations, but it's not just about what you say, is it? I mean, the delivery must matter too. It's also about how you say it.
You're absolutely right. It's the full package. When you use a strong adjective, don't just say it. Emphasize it.
Emphasize it. How?
Well, stress the word, perhaps raise your pitch slightly and maybe give it a bit more length. Instead of just flatly saying, "that's excellent," try "that's excellent." You can literally hear and feel the power and enthusiasm in that single word.
I can feel the energy difference just hearing you say it like that. It makes the word pop. It gives it life.
Exactly. And this ties directly into fluency as well. When you replace "very tired" with "exhausted," you're not just choosing a stronger word. You're often cutting down on syllables and potential filler sounds. Going from 4 syllables maybe down to 3, and then practicing how those words connect naturally in fast speech like "I'm exhausted," often flows together as "I'm exhausted," makes your speech smoother, more connected, more natural. It removes those tiny verbal roadblocks.
That's a powerful tip for achieving that natural rhythm. Now, sometimes I imagine a strong adjective can actually be too strong, right? Like there's a politeness slider you need to adjust, depending on who you're talking to.
Absolutely. Language isn't just about precision. It's about being appropriate for your audience in the specific situation. You got to read the room. For instance, in a formal email to a client, maybe saying "the delay is unacceptable" might be perceived as overly aggressive or confrontational.
Yeah, that could backfire.
It could. So you might soften that to "the delay is concerning," Or perhaps the delay is quite concerning. It still conveys your point clearly, but with a more diplomatic professional tone.
Oh, that's a brilliant example. Same underlying message, but a completely different tone that helps maintain the relationship.
Exactly. Or think about a job interview. While you might genuinely feel you're, say, brilliant at SQL, it's often more appropriate and maybe strategically humble to soften that.
How would you soften that?
You could say, I'm strong in SQL, or I have a deep proficiency in SQL. You're still conveying competence and confidence, but without sounding potentially arrogant.
Right, finding that balance.
Conversely, sometimes you absolutely need to strengthen your language for impact. If you're giving an urgent safety briefing, just saying, this shortcut is dangerous, might not be impactful enough.
Needs more urgency.
Right. Saying this shortcut is extremely dangerous or this shortcut is incredibly dangerous. That added intensity conveys the severity and the urgency, ensuring people really pay attention and understand the risk.
That's crucial for conveying the right level of warning. So is there a general tip for choosing intensifiers in, say, professional versus casual settings?
Yeah, generally speaking, in professional settings, for precision and a more formal tone, you might lean towards intensifiers like highly, strongly, or extremely. They tend to convey a measured, impactful message.
Okay.
In casual chat with friends really is almost always a safe and very common choice, and words like super or even totally are great for informal emphasis, depending on your style. It's all about making a conscious choice to match your language to the situation and your audience.
This has been incredibly insightful, seriously. But I think some listeners, and frankly, maybe myself included sometimes, might still be thinking, okay, so am I supposed to just ban very from my vocabulary entirely now? Is very suddenly the enemy?
Not at all. That's a really common worry, and honestly, it would be unnatural to completely ban it. The goal here isn't to eliminate very. It's about gaining control and making a conscious, strategic choice about when to use it and when a stronger word is better.
Control, not elimination. I like that.
Exactly. Very absolutely has its place. You use it when you want a softer emphasis, especially in polite, cautious, or sensitive communication.
Okay, can you give us a couple of examples where very is perfectly fine, maybe even preferred?
Certainly. Think about saying something like, that was very kind of you. The very here adds a gentle, appreciative emphasis. If you said, that was absolutely kind of you, it might sound a little overly dramatic, maybe even slightly insincere in some contexts.
Yeah, I can hear that. Very kind. Sounds more natural there.
Right. Or maybe in a business context, I'm very interested in your proposal. It conveys genuine interest without sounding aggressive or overly demanding. In these cases, a really strong power adjective might actually sound too forceful or potentially off-putting. Very offers a strategic softness that can be incredibly effective, allowing you to fine-tune your message precisely.
Okay, that's a fantastic distinction, conscious choice over prohibition. It really gives us so much more control as speakers. This has been an incredible deep dive into transforming our English. Let's try and bring it all together now with a quick mini test for you, our listener. Think about how you could improve these common phrases using what we've discussed. No pressure. Just maybe pause and consider a stronger alternative.
All right, ready to upgrade your language? Here are a few to get you thinking.
First one. It's very important we fix this today. How could you make that stronger, more urgent?
Take a second to think.
Next. The lab is very clean. What's a more vivid way to say that?
Hmm.
And finally, I'm very tired. I'll email you tomorrow.
How can you express that tiredness more effectively?
Okay, how did you do? Let's look at them. For it's very important we fix this today. A stronger, more urgent option would be, it's crucial we fix this today.
Yeah, crucial definitely adds that weight.
It does. That single word conveys both high importance and a sense of immediate necessity. Much more impactful.
Okay, what about the lab? For the lab is very clean, you could say. The lab is spotless or immaculate. This is vivid, uses a single word for extreme cleanliness, and instantly creates a much clearer, more detailed image in the listener's mind.
Spotless. Nice and concise. And the last one, I'm very tired.
Instead of, I'm very tired, I'll email you tomorrow, you could say, I'm exhausted, I'll email you tomorrow. It's more impactful, it's shorter, and it clearly communicates the depth of your tiredness without needing the extra word, very.
Excellent. See, by making these small but really significant changes, you're not just speaking English, you're truly connecting better, you're chatting more like a native, you're conveying meaning with more precision, more impact, and a natural flow that makes all the difference.
And that brings us towards the end of this fantastic deep dive. We've journeyed from looking at how very can sometimes be vague and repetitive to uncovering ways to make our language more precise, impactful, and natural, all by focusing on this one tiny, common word and its alternatives.
So, your challenge this week, listener, and what I really want you to mull over, is to become a kind of language detective.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I challenge you to consciously notice every time you hear yourself use very, or maybe when you hear someone else use it. Then, just in your mind, try to swap it for a more powerful or precise alternative based on what we've talked about today. Ask yourself, how does that change the meaning? How does it change the feeling or the impact of the sentence? You'll honestly be amazed at what you discover about the subtle power of word choice.
That's a brilliant challenge, and it's a truly effective way to internalize these insights and start making them automatic. Practice makes perfect, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep noticing, and keep powering up your English. We'll catch you next time on Chat Like a Native.